Hello, dear tea friends from around the world. Welcome to a new tea class with me, Stéphane Erler, the founder of the TeaMasters blog and the T-Masters.com tea boutique. It's March 1st, 2026, and we are making a new class about Puerh. This time we will explore the storage. And to do this, we are going to brew and compare two teas from the sampler that I've set up for this class. One is this 8582 from the year 2003 from a private factory. It's this tea here. And the other tea is one we already tried once, the Bajiaoting Chizbing Cha from the Liming factory. And it's from the year 2005. It's here, both 2.5 grams, brewed in Gaiwan. And it will be the opportunity to try, especially this tea that is in my selection. It is a cake that only costs 69.95 US dollars, so just below 70 US dollars. One of the most affordable aged tea, because now it's 23 years old. Very, very affordable tea, but it is plantation Puerh, not Gushu Puerh. This will be the big difference with what we have explored so far, and this explains also the lower price. We'll see how the taste impacts. Now, there are a couple of things to say about this tea. Now, first, you might have realized from the packaging that it is very similar to the packaging used by the CNNP for the 7542 that we tasted last week. This is the tea we tasted last week, the packaging. This is for this week, so it's exactly the same characters, but it is printed a little bit differently. Now, the major difference is this looks much more like a woodblock printing. This is much more like a computer printout. So the characters are much more neat. Here it feels more how to say artisanal, more less manufactured, more handwork. And the quality of the paper is also different. But what is most important is the quality of the leaves. So this is a place to start to understand if it's a copy or not. And this is really the original. This is the copy. But even copies can be placed in better imitations of this packaging. And the fact that there are copies, very often the vendor will not tell you. It is up to you to find out by tasting the tea and compare it to the real deal. Now, why would companies use this packaging in 2005? Well, mostly it's because they did not want to invest in marketing and creating their own brand and try to make a lower grade Puerh and sell it as if it were the deal from the CNNP. If you were to make a better quality Puerh than the CNNP during the monopoly time, then you would not use this packaging. You would want to use a newer packaging to show that it is something new. Sorry, I have something in my nose. We are live. That's why these little things happen. Then why is it a copy of 8582? Because the leaves that are used are rather large, as you can see. They are more mature. The 85 is the year of the recipe. 8 describes the number of the leaves, so rather large leaves, and 2 is supposed to be Monghai. This is in this case, it's not Mongra, it's a private factory. And here, this Liming factory 2005 spring, the leaves are smaller, definitely plantation, but so here we see that size does not really mean that it is not plantation. Even large size are not necessarily gushu. This you will also feel because these leaves are not very thick. But another difference is in the color, darker here, and in the smell, you have much more storage, what we call the storage smell in this 85, 82 than in the budgeting. Okay, let's empty our cups. Oops, I see I don't have my spoon. Where did I put my spoon? Hey, we'll find another way. Okay, the leaves go in the gaiwan. We can use a bit stronger Puerh because these are compressed leaves. And we are not trying to make them perfectly. We want to compare and analyze them. Okay. No, I don't have a spoon. So what do? We will simply pour like this. And like this. What else shall we say? What is important, the big difference is not just that these leaves are a bit more mature, these leaves are smaller. The other big difference is that this tea, the budgeting from 2005, I got after being pressed, sent to the vendor in Taiwan, and then I got it very quickly, very early, and I kept it for storage in my apartment in Taiwan all this time, 20 years. So it is what we call dry storage, but in a humid country and warm country. So it is a tea that has matured in the meantime, but the difference with this Baobara from the private factory that is 2 years older is this tea has been stored in a professional Puerh warehouse for several years before I got it. And this Puerh storage has a higher humidity and temperature than my apartment because on purpose they will never use air condition even in summer when it's really very hot, very humid, whereas in my apartment, of course, when it's incredibly hot during the day, I will open the air conditioning for a while. So this tea has been kept drier than this one. And also, yeah, and not in a professional, dedicated Puerh storage, but simply my apartment in carton, cardboard, on top of shelves, so at a higher point, so that it will get more heat and humidity, but in a room where there is also sometimes air conditioning. So we can see that the color is a bit darker in the 8582, not very, very much, slightly, but it's especially the smell that it smells, and here this smell I find very similar to the 7542 in terms of aging that we had last week, 1999. So it really does a very good job at smelling like a really nicely old aged Puerh. Shun. Both are Shun. I did not mention this, but of course these are Shun Puerhs that have evolved. So the leaves are getting lighter in color, but now they are, and they open up completely. We remember show Puerh, fermented Puerh would be like carbonized. Here it opens up completely, and the leaf appearance is quite normal, just much darker because of the fermentation that has happened for 23 years in this case and 21 years for the budgeting. Actually, now tonight I might have used a bit more here. I don't know why this color seems a bit darker. In my French and German classes this afternoon, this one really looked darker, but at least in the smell and now in the taste, quite nice. And here this one. Now here you will find that the not just the smells, but especially the taste is quite different between these two. Here the storage really has a big impact. This one is much rounder through the additional fermentation coming from this storage. Here we taste much more the astringency of the young Sheng Puerh still. I hope that it is obvious for you at home when you are tasting it. Let me check my messages. Ta-da. Okay, well, no comment means that you must be agreeing with me. What is also interesting is when you put these two side by side, you can feel that they are kind of in the same category, in the same quality level. It was interesting last time when we first tried this budgeting Puerh. It was compared to the 2003 EU wild Puerh, and then the quality difference was much bigger. Now, if you taste these two teas, also what you will find is, do you prefer a bit stronger storage taste or the lighter one? So do you prefer your Puerh young or more aged? So here is where I believe that this tea does a very good job for its low price, because I find it personally superior to this one, and especially this one now is difficult to find in retail. Hello, Terry. Sorry for your late start, no problem. I have the tea and you will taste with the video later on. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so I will let you taste these two teas side by side. It's also interesting to see that so when you put two similar teas in quality, then it's a bit more equal, and you will have a preference for one or the other. If we were to compare each time with a better tea, like the 2003 Wild from EU, probably both each time would lose. But like this, if they are one pitched against the other, plantation against plantation, then at least they have a fighting chance. If you put them against Gushu, then it's quite obvious that the taste, the aftertaste, the power, the energy of the Gushu is much nicer, much stronger than these two plantation pours. But still, for the price, it does a quite a good job, especially you are not you don't have to wait for 23 years in order to get to this result. It's already there. You don't have to take the risk of storage, the waiting for 23 years, and especially if you were to wait for 23 years in the West, in the US, in Europe, where the climate is drier, cooler, you would get something more like this, not like that. This is also, and probably even not as aged as this one. It would even be, it would feel more raw, more shung, less aged, because the conditions are not as favorable as the conditions in Taiwan. Hello, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining. And yeah, so I hope that this comparison has helped you better understand the storage, the impact of professional storage on Puerh, how what is the potential of private storage in Taiwan, and the limits of each if the tea is plantation Puerh and not Gushu Puerh. Next week, we'll probably continue our adventures and discoveries with another Gushu Puerh. In the meantime, I thank you very much for your interest and wish you well. Have a great Sunday. And drink nice tea.